We've got some exciting news from the University of Miami.
Oh, yeah.
They've launched this new thing called the Miami Law and AI Lab,
Okay.
MiLA for short. And it's making waves.
Really is. It's fascinating. They're not just exploring how AI will impact law, you know?
Yes, right.
They're actively building applications and shaping how it's integrated.
So it's not just theoretical.
Yeah, no, it's practical too.
Well, why should someone who isn't a lawyer even care?
Great question. Think about it. Legal documents, contracts, court proceedings.
Yeah.
They all play a role in our lives. MiLA is working to make these processes more efficient and potentially even more accessible through AI.
Okay.
Plus, they're addressing the big concerns people have about AI, especially when it comes to sensitive information.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And before we get into the specifics,
Yeah.
shout out to Andres Vieira and Raul Diaz from Miami Real Group.
Absolutely.
They're the ones bringing you these updates on what's happening here in Miami.
If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate in Miami,
Right.
Andres and Raul are the go-to experts.
For sure. Okay, so back to MiLA. They're building AI applications specifically for the legal field, right?
Right.
What does that look like?
Well, one of their flagship projects is the AI Blue Booking project.
Oh.
It's tackling a problem that every lawyer and probably every law student has faced.
Huh.
Legal citations, those super specific footnotes
Yeah.
that are crucial for legal documents.
I've seen those. They're like a secret code.
Exactly. And they can be incredibly time-consuming to format correctly.
I bet.
MiLA's AI Blue Booking project uses natural language processing to automate this process.
Right.
Imagine legal citations just automatically generated,
Wow.
saving lawyers countless hours of tedious work.
So they're taking something incredibly complex
Yes.
and automating it, making the whole process more efficient?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
it is. And it's not just about saving time.
Right.
It's about accuracy, too.
Okay.
AI can ensure that citations are formatted correctly,
Okay.
reducing the risk of errors.
Okay. So that's one example. What else are they working on?
Another project that's caught my eye is AEGIS, the Attorney's Encryption Guard for Information Security.
Okay.
This one goes straight to the heart of the privacy concerns surrounding AI.
You mean the idea that AI could compromise sensitive information?
Precisely. AEGIS is designed to address that head-on.
Okay.
They're building a system that allows lawyers to leverage the power of AI for things like document analysis and legal research without ever exposing their clients' confidential data to unnecessary risks.
So it's like having the benefits of AI
Yeah.
without the potential privacy drawbacks?
Yeah.
That's a big deal, especially when you're dealing with legal matters.
It is, and it shows that MiLA is really thinking through the ethical implications of AI
Right.
and building solutions that prioritize privacy and security.
It's not just about the tech itself.
Yeah,
It's about how it's used and the values that are baked into it.
absolutely. And speaking of values, MiLA isn't just focused on building cool tech. They're also committed to educating the next generation of lawyers who will be working with these tools.
So they're taking like a two-pronged approach,
Yes.
building the tech and training the people who will use it. Tell me more about their educational initiatives.
Well, they have this fantastic on-demand video library for Miami law students,
Okay.
covering everything from the technical aspects of AI to the practical applications in legal practice.
Wow.
They're also launching a monthly newsletter called AI AEGIS,
Okay.
which aims to keep the broader legal community informed about the latest developments in AI and the law.
Kitschy name, so it's not just for students then.
Right, it's for anyone who wants to stay up to date on this rapidly evolving field.
Makes sense. They're really trying to foster a community around AI and law.
Exactly. Bringing together lawyers, judges, legal scholars, and technologists.
And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because the impact of AI on the legal profession is going to be felt far beyond the classroom. It's going to touch every aspect of the legal system.
It is. And MiLA is positioning itself as a leader in this space,
Okay.
driving the conversation and shaping the way AI is integrated into law.
And it sounds like they're doing it in a collaborative way. They're not trying to do this all on their own, are they?
Not at all. They're partnering with computer scientists at Notre Dame on research projects, and they're working with a student-led group called Bonsai to develop practical AI tools.
Oh, wow.
And they're actively looking for industry partners who can help them bring these solutions to the real world.
It's interesting to see that blend of academic research and real-world application. It suggests they're serious about making a tangible impact.
They are. And they've got a diverse team of developers and law students working on these projects, bringing different perspectives and expertise to the table.
That diversity of thought is crucial, isn't it? Because AI is going to touch so many different areas of law, from contract law to criminal justice.
It is. And as one of the lab members, Ria Gowell, points out, it's about understanding both the technical capabilities of AI and the practical needs of the legal profession.
Yeah.
They call it AI lawyering, having the knowledge and skills to navigate this new landscape.
AI lawyering. I love that term. It
Oh,
perfectly captures what MiLA is all about.
yeah.
So if someone's listening to this and thinking, I want to get involved, what can they do?
Well, if you're a Miami law student, there are tons of opportunities. You can take their AI and law practicum course, volunteer at the lab, or even apply for their $2,000 research award program,
Oh, wow.
which gives you funding to publish your own AI law project.
That's incredible.
Hmm.
What about for folks who aren't law students?
Even if you're not a law student, there are still ways to engage with MiLA. They host events open to the public, like their upcoming Lunch and Learn on November 7th called The New Legal Landscape.
Okay.
And in the spring of 2025, they're planning a big event with interactive competitions, discussions on AI lawyering, and networking opportunities.
That sounds fantastic. It's clear that they're really trying to make this accessible to everyone, not just legal experts.
Exactly, because they understand that the implications of AI in law extend far beyond the courtroom. This is going to impact all of us in some way. And that's why it's so important to be having these conversations, to think about the potential benefits and challenges of AI and how we can ensure it's used ethically and responsibly.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about MiLA's work on the practical and educational fronts. But what about their vision for the future? Where do they see this all going?
Well, Ulrich Cohen-Sesson, the founder of MiLA, talks about their role in fostering responsible legal innovation and preparing students to shape the future of law. They're not just reacting to the changes brought about by AI, they're actively trying to guide those changes in a positive direction.
It's almost like they're saying, we're not just going to wait and see what happens with AI. We're going to be a driving force in shaping how it's used in the legal world.
That's exactly it. And I think that's what makes MiLA so exciting. They're not just observers. They're active participants in this evolution of the legal profession.
And they're doing it with a focus on ethics and responsibility, which is crucial. So let's say I'm a lawyer listening to this, and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk of AI and its potential impact on my job. What advice would you give me?
I'd say the most important thing is to stay curious and open-minded. Don't be afraid to explore new technologies and see how they can enhance your practice. But at the same time, don't blindly trust any technology. Be critical. Ask questions and remember that ultimately you're the one making the decisions.
So it's about finding that balance between embracing the potential of AI and maintaining your professional judgment and ethical responsibilities.
Exactly. And I think MiLA is a great resource for lawyers who are trying to find that balance. They offer education, training, and support to help lawyers navigate this new landscape.
And they're also helping to raise awareness among the general public, which is really important. We need to be having these conversations about AI and its implications on a societal level, not just within the legal profession.
Absolutely. The more we understand about AI, its potential benefits and risks, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its use.
And speaking of informed decisions, let's not forget about the folks who are helping to make these conversations possible. Andres Vieira and Raul Diaz from Miami Real Group.
That's right. They're the ones bringing you this information and insights about MiLA and the future of law.
So if you're in the Miami area and thinking about buying or selling real estate, remember to reach out to Andres and Raul. They're the experts you can trust.
They are. And they're committed to supporting these important conversations about the forces shaping our world.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about MiLA's work, their vision, the potential impact of AI on the legal profession, and the importance of staying informed and engaged. But before we wrap up, I want to get a little more concrete.
Sounds good.
Can you give us some specific examples of how AI is already being used in the legal world today?
Of course. One area where AI is making a big difference is in document review. Imagine you're a lawyer working on a merger or acquisition. You have stacks of contracts, financial statements, emails, a mountain of documents to go through.
Yeah, that sounds overwhelming.
It can be.
Yeah.
But AI-powered tools can help streamline that process. They can analyze documents, identify key clauses, flag potential risks, and even extract relevant data.
Wow, that's like having a superpowered research assistant.
Exactly. It frees up lawyers from spending hours on tedious manual review so they can focus on more strategic tasks.
So it's not about replacing lawyers. It's about giving them tools to be more efficient and effective.
Precisely. And it's not just document review. AI is also being used in legal research. There are platforms that can analyze vast amounts of case law statutes, regulations, and scholarly articles to find the most relevant information for a particular legal issue.
That sounds incredibly useful. especially in a field where staying up to date on the latest legal developments is so crucial.
It is. And some of these platforms can even predict how a court might rule on a particular case based on past precedents.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is. Of course, it's important to remember that these are just predictions, not guarantees. But having that kind of insight can be invaluable for lawyers and their clients.
I can imagine. It could help them make more informed decisions about how to proceed with a case.
Exactly. And it could potentially save them a lot of time and money in the process.
So document review legal research, it sounds like AI is already having a tangible impact on the legal profession.
It is. And I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. As AI technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications in the legal world.
Which is both exciting and a little daunting, right? It's a lot of change to process.
It is. But I think it's important to approach it with a sense of curiosity and optimism. AI has the potential to revolutionize the legal profession for the better, making it more efficient, accessible, and just...
I like that perspective. And I think MiLA is a great example of that optimistic and forward-thinking approach. They're not just talking about the future of law, they're actively shaping it.
They are. And they're doing it in a way that prioritizes ethics, responsibility, and accessibility, which is exactly what we need.
Couldn't agree more. We've seen AI being used for things like legal research and document review, but what about other areas of law?
One area that's really interesting is contract analysis. Contracts can be incredibly dense and complex, even for lawyers.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes it feels like you need a law degree just to understand your cell phone agreement.
Exactly. And that's where AI can really help. There are AI tools that can analyze contracts, identify key clauses, and even flag potential risks.
So instead of having to comb through pages and pages of legal jargon, you can have AI do the heavy lifting.
Precisely. And these tools are especially useful for tasks like due diligence, where lawyers need to review tons of contracts in a short amount of time.
That makes sense. Time is always of the essence in those situations.
It is, and AI can help lawyers work more efficiently and effectively.
Okay, so contract analysis is one example. What other applications are out there?
Another fascinating area is legal prediction. There are AI systems that have been trained on massive data sets of legal cases.
And they can use that data to, predict the outcome of future cases.
You got it. It's pretty amazing stuff. Of course, it's important to remember that these are just predictions, not guarantees.
Right. But still having that kind of insight could be incredibly valuable for lawyers and their clients.
Absolutely. It can help them make more informed decisions about whether to settle a case or go to trial.
And potentially save them a lot of time and money in the process.
Exactly. So legal prediction is definitely something to keep an eye on.
It sounds like it. Any other examples you want to highlight?
One more that I find particularly compelling is the use of AI in access to justice initiatives.
This is something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
How can AI help make legal services more accessible to everyone?
Well, imagine AI-powered chatbots that can provide basic legal guidance to people who can't afford a lawyer.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially for things like housing disputes, family law issues, or consumer protection cases.
Exactly. Those are areas where people often need legal help, but may not have the resources to hire an attorney.
So AI could really help bridge that gap and make justice more accessible.
That's the idea. And there are already some promising projects underway in this area.
That's really encouraging to hear. It's great to see AI being used for
AI to not just make the legal system more efficient, but also more equitable.
And that's something we should all be striving for. So we've seen how AI is being used to analyze contracts, predict case outcomes, and even expand access to justice. What's the main takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key message is that AI is already transforming the legal profession, and this is just the beginning.
It's not a matter of if AI will change the legal landscape, but how.
Precisely. And it's up to all of us, lawyers, technologists, policymakers, and everyday citizens, to ensure that AI is used to promote justice and fairness.
Couldn't agree more. And a huge thank you to Andres Vieira and Raul Diaz from Miami Real Group for bringing us this conversation.
Absolutely. Their support for these important discussions is invaluable.
So if you're in the Miami area and thinking about buying or selling a property, be sure to reach out to Andres and Raul.
They're the best in the business, and they're dedicated to keeping you informed about the forces shaping our world.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.